No, I said, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh shit! You can't. Oh my god! I can't believe
Are you?
You like that, old man? You want a piece of me?
Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
You do? You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There's no crying in baseball. This is wrong, bitch. Hey, the Schwartz be with you.
I am the father.
Get you, my pretty.
Take your stinking paws off me.
May the force be with you.
Here's Johnny.
What up, film fans, wrestling fans, fans of all? Welcome to a bonus episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Juan, and I am joined by Jay.
Hey, how's it going out there in podcast land? I decided not to show up for the Time to Kill one because who really cares, right? A Time to Kill Matt McConaughey, wrestling, Wrestlemania is where it's really at, so I will be there.
Hey, man.
No, I'm just messing with you. I just had some things I needed to do.
You dubbed it the McConaissance, so it was a good episode, though. It was a fun episode. We all really liked the movie. I think
I'm
Zach
still just shocked it's a Joel Schumacher movie out of anything.
Zach gave it a 5. I gave it a 4.5. Edward gave it a 4. It was his first time watching it too.
I'd have probably gave it a 3.5, 4. Some of the stuff that is a little dated in some areas, but I talked to you this about it a while ago. I thought it played like an old time, like it played in the 1960s instead of the 90s.
Yeah, we even talked about it, how it kind of felt like it was in that To Kill a Mockingbird kind of world.
Yes.
So if you want to hear our complete thoughts on our latest episode, which was A Time to Kill, go back and listen to wherever you listen to podcasts at. You can hit us up on the social media, facebook.com/The Cine-Men Movie Podcast, Instagram /The Cine-Men Movie Podcast, X Cinnamon405, or just send us an old-fashioned email at cinnamon921@gmail.com. There is all the links to all of our past episodes, including this last episode, 344, A Time to Kill. So go back, check it out, listen to it, and let us know your thoughts on A Time to Kill. So, Jay, did you see that Companion finally hit HBO Max?
I did not, but that movie is an excellent, excellent movie. It is so far the best movie 2025 in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it was, again, going at spoiler free. Don't watch any trailers. Just go into it, sit down, watch it, enjoy it.
Yeah. So Companion finally hit HBO Max. Go back. That's another episode we just talked about. But this is different. This is a bonus episode. Usually we have like a little sports, side that we do, but RIP to the sports breakers. So everything that we do is just going to be a bonus edition of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Because why not, right? That's us. Yeah. Shit.
We went and seen Minecraft the other night. I was so tanked. I went to the bar and got a couple Long Island iced teas and a couple rum and cokes. And I don't remember Minecraft very much.
Hey, you know what? I do, and I'll give my thoughts on it on Tuesday on a new episode. That's what we're talking about in a few days. The importance of physical media. So I don't want to give away too much or talk to you about too much. So that's what we're going to do this Tuesday, the 22nd. Tuesday the 22nd at 7 p.m.
Very special episode.
Yeah, right here live on Imasawa Productions YouTube channel and Facebook Live. So Jay, let's get into what we're talking about today. We're just talking Wrestlemania. I'm not going down any order. I'm not going down any kind of like storylines. I'm going to bring up a match. We're going to talk about, maybe what we've been caught up to, and who we think is going to win and where, and maybe where that storyline might continue. So,
Okay, let's
if
do
if you guys joined us last year, we did do something for WrestleMania 40 last year. Kind of the same similar situation. But let's just hang out and have fun. This year, WrestleMania is April 19th and 20th. Easter weekend of all. Jay, I don't think they're going to do that again. Do you?
I just look at it. It's not their call; it's the city's call, the host city's call.
I know Las Vegas isn't usually a hotbed for WWE anyway, but ticket sales are not probably what they thought they were going to be. I know. Looking now at some of the estimates, they're estimating about 45 to 55,000 per night.
But from what I've also read, Las Vegas is a walk-up town.
That's true. That's very true. So next year, WrestleMania, I think, is like April 9th and 10th or something like that. So they're moving it away from Easter, which I think is going to be, it's going to be good either way. Um, but man, let's dig into it. The stage was revealed today. SmackDown is going on live right now as we talk about WrestleMania. But they released the set design today. What did you think of the set? You think?
I'm always impressed by their set designs. And that's the one thing WWE, whereas WCW and AEW and all these other wrestling promotions, they fail to, they never have a good set design. WWE always hits the mark, always, and this is no exemption right here.
Were you a fan of the one last year? Where it was just the big XL?
Yeah, I love the color, the green, the money color green for the Liberty Bell and everything. Because whenever they have a stage, they have a theme. Like when they invade Hollywood, it's WWE and Hollywood. They try to incorporate something Hollywood. It depends on where they go. And like whenever they were in Tampa Bay, they tried to incorporate the pirate ship twice, actually. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I was super glad that they didn't do that this year, because the Raiders are black and silver, so I'm kind of glad they didn't do that this year. They kind of went with the gambling cards.
the glitz
Um,
and glamour. Yeah,
yeah,
there you go, right there. Yeah,
yeah,
look at that. Tell me that doesn't scream like new age, like take my money. This isn't your mom and daddy's WrestleMania. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah. And you know what I like is I believe the cards above the ramp, those are actual LED screens. Those aren't like the generic. Remember how Vince used to have the CGI
Yeah.
shots? I don't think those are CGI.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people on the internet again.
That is a.
I'm
I'd probably be kind of pissed if I was there live with it being so bright, but as a televised product, that looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of people, probably just some haters, but they're saying that they used the big stage this year to cover up some of the seats that didn't get sold.
They always have a big stage.
Yeah, last year's was pretty small though compared to what it has been. But last year they were in the Lincoln Financial Field, and that's one of the oldest NFL stadiums that's out there. So I'm sure it was a smaller venue. This one, Vegas, this is a brand new stadium.
They want to show off.
Yeah, Allegiant Stadium is huge. I think still to this day, it's going to be interesting seeing this live with fans. But the WrestleMania Hollywood stage design that they had a few years ago, I thought that one was gorgeous too.
Oh yeah, like I said, you know, uh, growing up, I grew up in the era where they had, a blue curtain, and that was considered the WrestleMania stage, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Your fans are pampered nowadays. Look at all these LEDs and everything like that. My old elimination chamber didn't have LED lights on it to let you know who was coming out next. You know, you know,
yeah,
my entranceways were very simplistic. We didn't get the big time screens until we got to the Attitude Era, and that's when we got what they called the Titantron. and every child in that generation knows what I'm talking about. The Titantron toy, you know. It
I
wasn't
think
until then that we got the big screen and we had a storyline, and that changed wrestling for the better.
I think it's always been kind of like something that's just, it doesn't matter what year it is. WrestleMania just has to be that much special. Whether it be a fancy ramp, a long ramp, a fancy entryway.
The one thing I
Um,
can do without on a WrestleMania is, some sports people, sports entertainer people could be all whatever, but I could do without the rap concerts and the rock concerts. I really can. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. I've read that in Living Color is going to be playing CM Punk out for his entrance thing. Completely fine, but I don't need
you
a
don't
concert.
you don't need a 10-minute to 20-minute venue. I get what I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't need none of that.
I
I
think
want.
that's I think that's just I think we're going away from that. I can't remember if they did that last year.
I can't either.
But I think that was a Vince McMahon thing. I think he wanted to just push his brand. I know he has a huge brand, but he's just trying to be like the NFL. And I don't think, WrestleMania is never going to be the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is never going to be WrestleMania. So I think now that he's out of the picture, I think that's a good thing.
And I completely agree with you. But I do get and understand and respect Vince's spectacle presentation. He always wanted WrestleMania to be the spectacle, and WrestleMania because we, when I started watching WrestleMania, WrestleManias were built on who was on the card. Now we're at that point of it doesn't matter who's on the card. What's this year's WrestleMania look like? And right now we're about to discuss what this year's WrestleMania look like, and
Oh,
and how is WrestleMania 41 shaping up
so
being?
let's dig into it. You know, right as of now, SmackDown is still going on. So as of now, there's only 13 matches, 7 matches night one, 6 night 2. That might stick or that might change, but as of now, we're gonna go down the official match card.
Or if
So
you could try to maybe go night by night, that'd be great. If you can't,
we
whatever.
are.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm way ahead of you.
I
Um,
already know night one. We automatically know night one's first match. We do
so
not.
so so night one is going to be Gunther defending the world championship against Jay Uso, singles match for the world title. I was excited. This is another thing I think that might have to change. I was excited for this match back in January and February, or back in February and kind of March, and now it's just kind of dragged because we're in the middle of April. Do you think there's too much, before we talk about Jay and Gunther, do you think there's too much layover in between the Rumble and Mania?
This year's there was because we had an extra. What was it? 3 weeks, roughly. Because usually by now we're already heading to Backlash.
Well, yeah, I mean they completely, and I heard it was supposed to get worse. I heard they want WrestleMania to be almost like a first week of May kind of thing. And I
No,
think
that's too far. That's pushing it way too far, if you ask me.
so. I know they're still going to be playing with some of the months, but yeah, like the Rumble was February.
Beginning to mid-April is that's the line for me.
Yeah, I remember some WrestleManias taking place like the second week of March.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Some of them taking place on a Tuesday afternoon. you know, that's
yeah.
those are some of those old school ones. But you know, we have the first match being Gunther versus Jey Uso. You said it's been dragging, but once we get that WWE style WrestleMania promo skills that how they know how to do, you know what I'm talking about. You know how
I
WWE can
yeah
throw a promo package together. We're gonna get
yeah.
that promo package, and we're gonna sit there and be like, "All right, this is the best damn thing." But
So
I think we're gonna have a lot of fun in this opening match, and I'll tell you why. In one word or two words, Jay wins. It has to happen.
I just think, and I know you're going with Jay. I I want Gunther to go over. I really do think Gunther deserves to make that championship like I don't know. And I know Jay can probably do the same thing, but I don't feel like Jay is going to have a lengthy run with it. I feel like I feel like he might have a transitional spot with this championship.
And I'm
Now,
okay with that.
now if they do give it to Jay and Jay does win, I'm okay with Jay keeping it for at least 6 months. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with it at least until a SummerSlam run and Gunther gets it back.
But
And the reason why, and the reason here's a couple of the reasons why I say Gunther or Jay's gonna go over in the first match is because they want that feel good WrestleMania moment to kick off the show, and what better way to do it than give a main event Jey Uso that heavyweight? You know what I mean? Giving him that heavyweight title, he did it. It's WrestleMania. You know what I mean? What better way to start off a Mania than having a title change?
yeah. You think you think this is going to be a stinker? Jay was in one of the worst WrestleMania matches I've ever seen last year. You think how do you think they switched this one up? And let's be honest, the Saturday night's main event match wasn't very, you know, entertaining, if you will.
Well, that's the
You think this one has to be a in and out, or do you think this one's got to be about 15, 20 minutes?
I'd give it about 15 to 17, roughly. I know that's being very specific, but you know, they
Would you be upset if they give Jay the belt in like a 3 minute upset?
no, absolutely not. Because they honestly they booked it kind of that way where they could do it that way because Gunther's been shown to be this monster that can Jay overcoming and Jay's taking out Jimmy. Look how bad he massacred his brother. And at every turn he's had Jay's number, and within seconds, it could be all over for Gunther because Gunther just was not paying attention.
So, feel good story. Jay celebrates the world championship with his brother Jimmy, or does Jimmy again betray Jay and say, he screws him out of the title match, and you weren't there, you just laid there while I got butchered by Gunther.
Oh no, this is a feel good family moment, I think.
Feel good family moment. So you got Jay, I got Gunther. That's the first match that we're kind of
Well,
predicting.
you're wrong.
The next match, the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, are the World Tag Team Champions. They'll defend against the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. I was hoping for maybe like a tag team turmoil, maybe some surprises or something. But you know what? I think this is to get the New Day heel faction over. I'm going with the New Day.
I'm going New Day as well. And this is one of those matches that I could feel. I could care less. They could have just had it on Raw.
No, hold on a second.
Fine.
Hold on a second. I know. I kind of see what WWE's doing here, but like, we didn't talk about it with Jay, but Jay being a longtime tag team with Jimmy, one of, if not the greatest tag team of all time, and then right behind him, I don't care about the old school tag teams or whatever. Right behind him, I feel like the New Day, whether it's Kofi and Big E or Kofi and Xavier, like they're a pretty well established team. 10 years later, they're still doing it together, but now they're doing it as this new, cool, like heel. Yeah, the new heel, and I'm digging the music. I'm digging their attitudes.
I have a feeling I guarantee you that wherever their placement is on the show, I guarantee you they'll go over.
Oh yeah,
but
and I also
I agree with you. There should have been more to it. I just don't. This has come across more as a Raw match than anything.
Yeah, but I think what way to celebrate one of the greatest tag teams to ever do it than maybe by giving them, a championship at WrestleMania.
And maybe even to do that, maybe they can even add a new member.
And a lot of people, scrutinize Vince for never putting the Usos on WrestleMania, never putting certain tag team titles. I know Triple H has kind of been thrown under the same bus lately, but I mean, hey, he's given us a world tag team title match, even if it is just a simple tag match. and hopefully, hopefully the New Day go over, because I think they deserve it, because they've been left out of some manias back in the day as well.
Well, they've been a host, and one of their biggest WrestleMania moments is coming out of a big box of Bootios, which was a great and classic old school
I was there.
moment. You were okay. Well, you were there, yeah. So that was a very big moment. They lived up that moment for a very long time. Hell,
Yeah.
I bought my daughter Bootio cereal because she wanted Bootio cereal.
The price was terrible though.
I bought them at FYE.
Yeah,
They
15
were
bucks.
they were like $13.99 plus tax or some shit. But
Yep.
I bought a box. My daughter
Uh,
still has the box.
so we both agree. We
New
both agree.
Day
New
win.
Day. Yeah. Let's go. Next match up: Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
This one's easy as could be.
You think it's going to be that easy? I think they might throw something
No,
in at
no,
us.
no, no. It's easy. El Grande's going over. It's his heritage. He's got to show the people of the world how he's already made it on the Mexican stage, and he's got to prove the point on an American stage. And WrestleMania being the biggest American stage and taking out Rey Mysterio. What better way to sit there and show America his legacy, what WWE is trying to get across with all these vignettes of look at how big of a
I
Mexican legacy. You know what I mean? Am I
No,
mistaken?
I'm complete opposite. I'm going Mysterio,
Oh, you're wrong.
and I'm also picking Rey Mysterio to unmask Chad Gable.
Oh no, not gonna happen because there's still too much comedy to be played in this gimmick.
Yep.
They're
And
no,
then and then
they're gonna give El Grande a
no.
championship. Now El Grande, I'm calling it now before he's unmasked and whatever. He's getting the title, bro. I'm
So
calling it. He's getting a title.
I've already kind of foreseen probably what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mysterio might even lose, but then I think Team Angle Part 2 and El Grande Luchador is going to team up on Mysterio and outdo the LWO, and then maybe like a Rey Phoenix comes down and helps out Rey Mysterio.
That's a possibility after El Grande wins. It's gonna happen, bro.
But
There is
you
Rey
you
Mysterio is taking the 1, 2, 3 that night.
you go with El Grande. I'm going Mysterio. Next up, another singles match: Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Naomi.
The very, very first women's match at WrestleMania that's not for a championship, one-on-one, might I add. So
I'm gonna
that
go
means
Naomi.
I can see it. I think they're really, really big on Jade. Um,
Jade doesn't need the win. Naomi does to continue this feud.
I think Naomi shows back up in another match, so we'll talk about that later. But I'm going to go Jade over Naomi.
Okay.
Next up, LA Knight, Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. LA Knight's coming in. He's coming in hot, but I think it's Fatu's time.
Dude. Yeah, Fatu's got it. Unless some bullshit, you know,
Now,
happens between Solo and all that crap.
now let's talk about this.
Yeah. The whole bloodline joins in. It causes Jacob Fatu, and that's what causes Jacob and Solo to go on their downward spiral into their storyline. I would be pissed, but yeah, I want Jacob to win.
Let's talk about how this story has kind of escalated over the last few weeks. Solo and Fatu have been going back and forth. We thought we were going to get a Solo Fatu match, and then for a minute, Fatu was going in at it with Braun Strowman. We thought maybe we'd get a blow off match at Mania, but none of that is taking place. Instead, we're getting the one-on-one singles. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. I really like LA Knight, but I don't think he's going anywhere right now. As far as maybe I can see him losing this and then chasing a world title. I think he probably runs hard into a Money in the Bank ladder match or something.
That
So
works for me.
yeah, but uh, my heart, man, tells me Fatu wins, and then Solo does like the old Evolution thumbs down gimmick.
I want. Here's my thing. I want Jacob to win. I kind of see a screw job happening with LA Knight keeping it because Jacob's gonna have interference because of the bloodline. The whole bloodline, whatever the form or faction, is going to come out in that. Like I said, it's going to continue to cause friction and hate. This is going to be the build for the Solo Fatu storyline where Solo cost him the title at WrestleMania. That's my theory. That's my.
So you're going with LA Knight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, I want a dominant Jacob Fatu win. But if we're going strictly storyline and where we're going to go afterwards, it makes more sense to have him lose and continue on with his journey with Solo.
I'll go opposite. I'll go Fatu. I think something screwy happens after he wins the belt. Next matchup. This is probably the most ready I've been for a single women's championship match in a while. But Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I'm not saying this is going to be like a 5-star, Dave Meltzer clap on or anything, but I'm just saying I want to see how physical this match is with how these ladies have been the last few weeks on the promo. I'm really interested to see how physical and how rough this match gets.
I'm definitely with you on that. I hope they continue on with the verbal spats with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make it even more intense. I just hope they don't push themselves to the point that they're going to hurt themselves.
I don't think so.
I see them getting a good 20 minutes.
Now, we're talking about the women's championship with Tiffany Stratton defending against Charlotte Flair. Let's not forget July 4th weekend, Evolution is going to happen again, the all-female pay-per-view. I could see this getting stretched out to then.
Stratton's going to win in my opinion.
Huh?
Stratton, I think, is going to win.
You got Stratton.
I got Stratton to win.
Man, I want to see that too, but unfortunately, I'm going the opposite. I think they just want to keep a rocket on Flair, and I think Charlotte's going to win this match. And I know it's going to piss off a lot of fans. She's going to get the boos, but I really think they're going to try their hardest to make Tiffany Stratton the most single-loved female babyface. She's going to be the most single, well-loved babyface on the roster, and she's just going to chase it and probably try to get her belt back, maybe like Evolution or SummerSlam. So I'm gonna go Flair with this one.
Okay.
So, but next up, man, triple threat match. So far as of tonight, I know Seth Rollins opened up SmackDown sitting in the ring crisscross applesauce, so I can't wait to hear that promo. But the main event for night one, Roman Reigns, CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins, triple threat match. As of now, nothing is on the line, and I don't think anything has to be on the line.
Prestige.
So, man.
This is another match that could be sold primarily on their promo pack before the match.
Oh, for sure. This match is going to be a dandy, and I think
a dandy.
A dandy. But I think Rollins wins. Give me Rollins.
I'm gonna go with Reigns.
So I don't think Reigns takes the pinfall. But let's talk about it. Why, in your reason, first I'll ask one and then the other. Why do you not think CM Punk needs the win?
CM Punk isn't going to get the win.
Huh?
He isn't going to get the win.
I know, but I'm asking you, why do you think he doesn't need the win?
He got his main event. That to me is you know what I mean? I know that seems kind of harsh and everything, but he got his main event.
I don't think it seems harsh.
But I could also see it your way too with Seth Flip. Seth has been on a losing streak here lately, and he does need that. He does need that grand push.
But I also look at it like, who's going to be full time the next 6 months? Reigns doesn't need the win. He's gonna probably chase a title after this. CM Punk doesn't need the win. He's probably gonna. I mean, I don't know what he does after this. Honestly, win or lose. You know, Seth. I think, and Seth doesn't need the win either to stay relevant. Let's get honest here. But I think the route they're about to go with Seth Rollins, I really do think he's going to take a major turn, and I think he is going to be the one maybe to dethrone. To me, at least, I've always felt like him or
Is it
Roman, him or Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns is going to be the one to dethrone Jey Uso.
is this where we get a gimmick change in a small way from Seth Rollins?
I think we do. I think Seth Rollins is going to be a new Paul Heyman guy.
And I can see that. You're start. You know, it's. I've heard the rumors, read the rumors. You know, and talking to you about it now. It does make sense for a Seth Rollins win.
Because
So does a Roman win.
Seth Rollins owes, a few weeks
It's
ago,
just the way how last year's WrestleMania ended. You know what I mean? He sacrificed everything, and this year he's not going to. He has
exactly, and that
okay,
backup
I can give you. Okay, I'm gonna change mine with Seth. I'm gonna go with Seth.
that backup plan is going to be Paul Heyman. He's gonna turn on CM Punk, and Roman's going to be like, "Oh, my wise man has come home," and then he'll turn his back on Roman. Because let's get honest, but again, I know last year at the Hall of Fame, there was the whole Paul Heyman says, if I retire, that's because I'm not with Reigns anymore. And if I'm not with Reigns anymore, I'm going straight to retirement. I know we heard that, but you know how things change. So,
Swerves or swerves, baby.
yeah. I hope this opens up night 2 because it's going to be another fun triple threat match.
I was thinking this match should open night 2.
Now, this is the way the list I found. This is the way night 2 would open up if this is correct. Again, I don't know, but this is the way night 2 would open up. Io Sky is your women's world champion, defending against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. This is where I talked about Jade Cargill and the Naomi match on night 1. I think Naomi loses, but I think she comes back and she helps her best friend Bianca Belair become world heavyweight champion, and that will lead us to a Jade Cargill Bianca future match for the world championship.
See, okay, with this one, I really don't know I really don't know who they could go with to being the champion.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna be Bianca.
Okay.
I just have it in my feeling she's not losing. She's about to turn heel, and I think Naomi helps her.
Oh, and the only reason why I kind of like we had a small run with Rhea Ripley, and it was kind of like, oh shit, she lost it to Io. Now we're getting a short run with Io, and it does make sense that Bianca does get it. It really does. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bianca as well. But
second match, women's tag team championships. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria.
Liv and I'm sorry, Liv. Sorry.
Liv and Raquel win.
Oh yeah, Liv's my girl. Liv deserves everything she can get right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same thing. I'm gonna go Liv and Raquel. I think Bayley and the Lyra Valkyria story continues. I think Bayley is slowly gonna start getting a little bitter. So, yeah, Liv and Raquel for the win for me. So, I was hoping that we were gonna, get a one-on-one Intercontinental Championship match or some kind of multi-person ladder match, because I think Lyra has been knocking it out of the park. But I don't. Again, we're not going to get it. But you think this is going to be a fun match, though?
I do. I think Bayley has a way to make things special, but like it's just gonna be another one of those Raw matches. It could have been on Raw.
Next up, singles match: AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, which could be a show stealer, if you
Oh,
ask
see, I
me.
was about to say the same thing. I was about to say, this match could be the showstopper of the night just because of
Yeah.
how athletically, incredibly talented both of these guys are.
Let's not forget what AJ Styles can do. He turned he can turn Dookie into, gold, just like that Shane McMahon match a few years ago.
But let's also not forget that AJ Styles, in past interviews, has stated that he doesn't have very many WrestleManias left. And who's not to say that he ain't going to show
Oh
out
yeah.
with
And
Logan
and
Paul?
and you know what? Logan Paul, for how a lot of people don't like him, I think Logan Paul is one of the most fascinating workers on Raw right now.
Logan Paul's going to get the win.
Yeah. You think Logan Paul wins?
Logan Paul wins. AJ's going to put Logan over.
I think he will, but I don't think at Mania. I think this could stretch out a few more months. So, and I do think whoever ultimately wins this little series that they probably are getting ready to have, because I definitely don't think it's going to be a one off.
Oh,
I think whoever does win is going to be chasing a world title. And whether we like it or not, I know we don't like it, but eventually, I'm going to say before this year's over, it's going to get on Logan Paul.
I don't see it happening within the year just because of the competition, maybe for the next 3 to 4.
I
But
nope. I think they're going to put the strap on
we
him.
got Gunther, we got Jay still, we got no,
Logan Paul. I
we got too
pick
many people.
Logan Paul's going to win Money
We
in the
got
Bank
Randy
this year.
Orton possible. I can give you that.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
All right. Speaking of Randy Orton,
Oh yeah,
we have a
that's
we
probably
have a
that's
we
probably the
have a
seventh match.
mystery we have a mystery opponent match. It's an open challenge match, and there's two rumors right now. And one of the high leading rumor is Aleister Black, and the other one is Rusev. So we have one of those two rumors.
Well, it hasn't been announced yet. SmackDown still has another hour to go. I'm pretty sure it's going to be announced though. But I did see that too. Randy Orton's open challenge. Um, I can't remember. Was there a promo on SmackDown last week about the 27th still?
I I don't I haven't seen the last one now.
Because I know the Aleister Black promos have been playing on SmackDown. He was supposed to make his debut the Friday after. Um, who do you think is going to make who do you think is going to be the opponent? And does Orton get the win, or does the mystery opponent lose on their first night back?
Hell with it. Feed them to Orton. Just welcome them back. Be like, this is what you gave up, bitch. And just boop down. You know, I don't know. I don't. This is one of those double-edged swords. Who do you bring back? And Mira. If it's Rusev, I could see Orton going over. If it's Aleister Black, you kind of got to give it to Black.
But why? I
I
feel like
don't
they've
know.
I feel like they've backed themselves up into a corner.
Exactly. That Aleister Black needs that rub more than Randy Orton. It's like
So does Rusev. Let's not forget how Rusev left.
Rusev could come back and get a win anytime he needs. You know what I mean? He has an easy
I
way to get a win, but
I
some
I, I
about
just
Aleister Black, he just needs an extra. I don't know. We'll find out at Mania. If for all we know, it'll be Gilbert. I'll be okay with the Gilbert Orton match.
hey, what if it's it? You know, knowing the WWE, it might be somebody that we just are not even thinking of. That's not on
Okay,
the
okay,
horizon.
yeah. Well, let's go. Let's go with the third man. We don't know who the hell the third man could possibly even be. You know,
Joe Hendry.
I would be okay with the Joe Henry WrestleMania appearance.
There's even been talk about maybe somebody who's just coming back from an injury, or maybe even what if Sami Zayn's name might have been thrown out there a few times. Um,
Just okay. We could play the what if game. What if we get a New Japan guy on the show?
because of The Rock wearing the New Japan shirt,
Exactly.
I could see
What
that.
if that's our wrestler? What's that? What if that's our like? Holy shit! Here's a New Japan guy.
That's true. Would you be completely disappointed if Shinsuke's music played?
No, I'd actually like to see Randy Orton and Shinsuke go at it, and I want to see old Shinsuke if he does.
Yeah, same here. Same here. So, but yeah, either way, let's go. You think Randy Orton gets the win or the mystery opponent?
Ooh, this one.
Yep. You just gotta.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna randomly say
Orton.
mystery opponent.
I'm gonna go Orton.
Okay. Next up, speaking of show stealer, fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker's the champion, defending against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Give me Dirty Dom.
That's to me. This is the easiest part. Result on the card is
Yep.
Dirty Dom. I'm sorry,
I,
Dominic Mysterio deserves it. He needs to be rewarded for all of it, his work.
he does,
And
man. He's another one of those who he can turn poop into a gold. Um,
Breaker doesn't need it. Breaker can go on to what he could be Jay's probably first contender, first one or two contenders for
yeah,
for the world
yeah.
heavyweight title. And
Braun goes on to heavyweight championship aspirations.
Gunther goes on break.
Penta, I think, is going to be good at either chasing Dominic or again just in the world championship picture. And then I think this whole fatal four way comes down to Finn turning babyface and chasing Dominic later on down the line.
I I just I don't know what I see with Finn. Finn's kind of a lost cause for me right now.
Apparently, from what I've seen and read, is Triple H wants the rocket on Finn, and that's why he's trying to get him away from the Judgment Day.
Well,
So,
that's going to take a lot of work. Let's see how it goes.
but I'm going to go Dominic. I think he deserves it too.
I'm going with Dominic as well.
So, this just kind of updated a Sin City street fight: Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Oh shit, we're getting some stipulations.
Yep. So, Sin City street fight: Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Man, this is who I want to win, but I know Mania is all about some of the baby faces getting the big wins. I want Drew to win.
I agree with you, but I'm going to go with Priest. I don't know why. Ever since you said that, yeah, it's going to be Priest.
But I want Drew to win. So
I agree. I'm going to agree with you.
yeah.
But the way it's going to turn out, though, it's going to be Priest.
Are
we both in agreement on how we want it to be and how it's
yeah,
going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I really do want Drew because I just feel like, man, I don't
Drew's
know.
gonna look brutal. There's gonna be. Hopefully, there's a lot of blood, fucking mayhem in this match.
Yeah, Drew, can we not like praise him and give him his flowers for the 2024 year he had? I mean, his promos were off the chain. His matches were off the chain. He had a small world title victory. He had a hellacious trilogy with CM Punk. And he just killed it all of last year.
Had a nice little what was it, 1 or 2 feud with Sami Zayn.
Yeah. So yeah, with that being said, since I forgot about that Randy Orton match, this would make the 7th match of the night, and it is your night 2 main event. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Championship. Man, you think there's going to be some trickery and some fuckery in this match?
Oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be some fuckery because Cena's gonna walk out the 17th time World Heavyweight Champion.
So you got Cena.
For him, in order for him to turn, it makes logical sense for him to get the belt. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. It's the whole when The Rock turned. I have to beat you, Rock. You know what I mean?
You mean when Stone Cold turned?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, John Cena has to win it. Has to. There's no other way around it.
Let's do some figuring then. If Cena wins, does he? I mean, the championship is obviously not going to be on every show, not on every PLE, which is okay. I think fans, I would be okay with it if Cena wins. But man, heel Cena as the champion, having like that Stone Cold monster run in 2001, like he had, I think that would be pretty legit. Um, being the 17th time world champion, how would you think that night ends? You think it just ends with him being heel Cena all the way, or do you think he, sheds a tear? With the greatest tear in my eye.
No, I think depending on how it goes down interference wise, he's going to play it up as he did all himself.
And then Cody Rhodes, so what do you think? You think Cody Rhodes is just going to be done, or I mean, to me, Cody Rhodes he's a great champion, but it was fun seeing him chase Roman Reigns.
Exactly, that was his story. Now it's a new story. John Cena needs to tell his heel story.
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes is time. He's been a great guy. No, you know what I mean. But the John Cena needs this. Weirdly, we're in a predicament where John Cena needs a title run more than somebody else.
no,
In my opinion, and he needs this. He needs a title run as a heel as he leaves. I think he should do it. Because from what I've seen, they've added more dates to where Cena's on more shows. If you've noticed, they've added more. Cena's going to be on more Raws and SmackDowns here late after the WrestleMania, so that might be a little clue that he is going to win. But hopefully, we get a John Cena win, and we get and just make it. I want it to be a brutal, just takedown of Cody to where he has to scramble back and beat Super Cena.
yeah.
You know.
I think it'd be pretty cool to for them to. I know Cena's supposed to be on SmackDown tonight, so that would be pretty cool. I want to see how the final look or countdown starts, but I would be okay with Cena going for the win. So I'm gonna go Cena.
Why do you think Cena's going to win?
I just think he's gonna get the 17th, and what better way to get the 17th than on his last WrestleMania? So, but
So
yeah,
we got
man.
Cena.
Yeah. Other than that,
Are
man,
we gonna have Are we gonna have any surprise moments on the show, like guest appearances, any like Hulk Hogan appearances to sell some beer?
I
We're
don't
gonna
want a
have.
Hulk Hogan appearance.
Are we gonna have any type of old school old timers show up and sit there and just do anything? Are we gonna have any of that?
No, from what I've seen with Triple H doing, I like the whole Triple H putting the camera on people in the front row kind of thing. Super quick, super simple. They get their 5 seconds of fame. Um,
The little music, that little music, that da, 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 and the
yeah.
wave, and then you shut the fuck up, sit
Um,
down, and go on.
unfortunately for you, I think there's going to be a Travis Scott concert.
Is it really?
I think so. But
Are
other than
you?
that,
Don't play, bro.
no. Travis Scott's on my speed dial. I know this for sure.
I will, as long as dude. Come on, man. I'll have to. What night?
Probably going to be night two.
Oh shoot. Let me know how that night two goes.
But other than that, man, anything else you want to add to the WrestleMania predictions or hanging out talking about Mania?
Um, just with it being WrestleMania 41, do you think the build for this year's has been as big as last year than the previous years? With Cody trying to finish his story.
This
I
year's
don't think it has been.
no.
I think this year's is lacking.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain why, real quick.
I think there's a lack besides the whole John Cena is a heel now, and he's going after Cody Rhodes. We lost the Randy Orton Kevin Owens match. That was going to be a huge match on the card. The Roman Reigns, the triple threat. It's all right, but it's just missing something. The women's triple threat match again, it's missing something. It just doesn't feel there. We have Jade, Naomi. It just doesn't feel like the proper participants, in my opinion. And And then there's other matches that could be cool, but hopefully on the night of, like Jacob went to an LA night. I want one thing, but I know that another thing's possibly going to happen in the long run. And there's quite a few other roster members that aren't on the card that could possibly gotten a couple they could have gotten a couple more matches on the card, but here we are with with what we're presented this year at WrestleMania 41. And some of it just seems just kind of whatever together.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal for this year's WrestleMania was, you know what? This might seem like a Raw match, this might seem like a SmackDown match, but guess what? Just because it's on the WrestleMania card, you're gonna remember it. And you know what I mean? And let's not forget some of the old WrestleManias in the past. Do you not remember a match like light heavyweight championship WrestleMania 14, Taka Michinoku versus Aguila? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I remember that match. That was a
Ma-
pretty badass match. It was about
m-
8 minutes.
Matches like that, you could be like, oh, I bet that probably happened again the next night on Raw. Of course, yeah, it did. But that's what I mean. It doesn't matter if it's a. I don't think not every match has to be a Cody Rhodes versus John Cena match. You know what I mean? And I think that
I understand that, but see, I'm not saying the Attitude Era was better. I'm saying that in the Attitude Era, every match leading into something had a storyline, whether it was stupid or not. There was a storyline factor behind the match. Does that make sense?
yeah.
That right now that you know it, it just seems like who can we get on the card this year, and how best can
Well,
we
I
explain it?
I disagree. I think this is one of the first years where you don't have 7 multi-men matches just to get everybody on the card. This year you have several one-on-one matches with okay, let's take example for this real quick. The LA Knight Jacob Fatu match. You have 3 or 4 stories in that one-on-one match.
Agree. The
To
Bloodline storyline, the what could happen with LA Knight,
who does
that
the
all
champ? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, all that, yeah, and that is a very good match to have on the card because of the storyline ramifications.
So same thing with you know I know the Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable match isn't that's probably a lot of the matches that we're probably talking about, but let's look at it that way. There you have 2 or 3 storylines in that one match too. You have the unmasking, you have a Rey Mysterio loss, which is an upset. You have maybe Rey Mysterio gets beat down by
The
American.
Kingman, the legend of
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What if Rey Mysterio gets beat down by Grande Superstar, who makes the save? So there's still 2 or 3 rumblings in that one match. But if not, let's not forget Chad Gable can go. If it's a one-on-one match, watch that end up being one of the better matches of the night.
Well, whenever they were over in Italy and everything, and he was doing, and they first started that gimmick, and he ran it over there in Barcelona and all that.
Yeah,
The people, the fans themselves were chanting, "This is awesome."
yeah. Chad,
So
Ch-
it does have a very, very high stakes of being a high.
and again, like I know it's like we're like, man, this could be on Raw, but let's not forget Triple H, the way Triple H is doing it, he's giving somebody like Chad Gable his flowers.
Are we
He's
going to get a work rate WrestleMania this year?
that's fine too, and I think that's what this is building up to be. There's a lot of people making fun of the Chad Gable Mysterio match, and oh, the mask is going to just sell, catering for kids. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. But let's not forget, Chad Gable deserves this one-on-one match. A lot of people thought he should have gotten the one-on-one last year with Gunther. He didn't. I think this is Chad Gable's night to shine. Even if it's in a losing effort, he's going to show
He's
everybody
gonna
why
win.
he.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's winning
he's going to show
regardless.
every. That's fine, but he's going to show everybody why he deserves to be in that one-on-one match.
Are there some people that aren't on the card that I'm a little upset? Yeah, I really am. There's
Let's talk. My biggest one is Motor City Machine Guns.
plenty of people, but hey, maybe next year.
What about?
Dude, I really thought them and DIY had something going on. I really did. I really thought they had something heading into Mania. I even thought the primetime players had something going on.
I'm going to be interested to see what's going on tonight. Maybe their tag team title match tonight ends in some kind of fuckery, and it's added tomorrow. Who knows?
I'd be perfectly fine with the tag team title match. I'm
You
just
know,
I'm just
there's going to be a 2-hour pre-show. Why not put a match or two on the pre-show?
I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but didn't they say that each day's supposed to be 9 hours? It's supposed to be like 2 hour pre-show, 4 hour show, 2 hour post-show each day.
Yeah,
So it's like
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I remember whenever they had WrestleMania 2000 on pay-per-view, and if you paid it was $50.
WrestleMania all day long.
Oh, do you remember that? Don't you?
Yeah.
I bought that and recorded the entire day.
Because of you, Jay, that was my first ever WrestleMania.
And it sucked.
Hey man, I enjoyed it. I still remember it like yesterday. I could talk about that right now. Well, let's go another hour. No.
WrestleMania. Well, we have a Michael B. Jordan twin movie to catch in about an hour. We need to get some food. We
But
need to get
you know what
yeah.
though? Man, I just even the whole week build up, the whole 3-month road to
Before
WrestleMania build up, I'm just glad it's here. I'm glad I can still be excited about something like this in my life. You know what I mean?
before we go though, what were some of the matches that I know that they were trying to play towards, but then they ended up just kind of like letting go? Because I know
Uh,
like Bailey and Roxana Perez was one of them that they wanted to have.
yeah, Bailey, Roxana Perez, Bailey, Lyra Valkyria,
Uh-huh.
Solo, Jacob Fatu,
Yep.
um, Karrion Cross, AJ Styles,
Yep.
Karrion Cross or AJ Styles, Braun Breaker,
hmm
um,
and then a 6-man
Lo-
possible
Logan,
Intercontinental title.
Logan Paul, CM Punk.
Uh,
That was teased at the Rumble. Um, yeah, and then 6-man for the Intercontinental because not only Finn Balor, Penta, Dominic, and Braun, but you also had Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser was also involved in that storyline for a little bit,
uh-huh.
and then they kind of just threw it away. Um, yeah, and then Cena winning the Rumble. So
There's a lot of not missed opportunities, but potential matches that they had planned and just kind of said, "This is where we're going." And here we are. We are just under 24 hours.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, 24 hours, and Jey Uso is going to win the World Heavyweight title.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I I
I'm not a huge fan, but I understand.
I do think WrestleMania has turned into some shock value and who can appear at any time, thanks to Cody Rhodes in Dallas at WrestleMania a few years ago. But I'm glad that Triple H is finally starting to make WrestleMania great again, if I can say it like that. Um, like you said, I hope he turns this into a worker mentality of a show. Yeah, there's a lot of gimmicks involved, but I mean, look at some of these one-on-one matches.
There's
Look at some
only
of the,
two gimmicks.
yeah. I think this is going to be his. To me, this is his first. Can you say last year was, or is this his really first year without a full 12-month calendar on his own?
I think that I'd probably call this. I'd say, oh shit, I don't know. This was probably more his than last year's
Yeah,
because
but
last year's was his finishing Cody's story with Roman, and now this
which
is, and it was
which
a great ending.
it was, which the story was created by Vince. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited to see it this year, man. I think even though some of the matches might be predictable, you can also look at it and be like, no, maybe it's not. So, like
But
Triple H,
sometimes the best matches have to be predictable for everything, the outcomes that lead. The stories where they need to go to make sense.
oh yeah, yeah, no, same as if it's in a movie, like you know, Last of the Mohicans might be very predictable from start to finish, but you always remember that Daniel Day-Lewis performance.
Oh yeah.
So that's what wrestling is like, man. You know, one big movie, man. Um, you know, the
Or one
outcome, like
or
John
or
Cena
one
might,
big or one big 11-minute flight that
yeah, John Cena might get the win, and that's super predictable. But the performance, the moment, all that stuff is what's leading up to it. So, other than that, man, if you don't have anything to add, I think that's going to do it for this WrestleMania prediction show. We might hop back on it and talk about it next week about the post results. Hell, we might even do it Monday.
I think we should probably see how bad our results are. We come back on here and be like, yeah, we completely shit the bed on everything. Everything was just terrible. Everybody, yeah.
Maybe we can do it next week after the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
We could do that.
So,
From
uh,
from the way that Triple H and everybody are selling it, we're going back to the post WrestleMania Raws to where anything can happen on Raw. So
well,
you know,
let's see, because last year's wasn't a very good one, right?
no, it hasn't been for the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and then 2 years ago is where we got that stupid Brock Lesnar turn.
Uh huh.
Yeah, so,
With Cody
uh,
Rhodes being a
but
tag
let's
team partner.
let's see. Next week we are discussing
Hocus Pocus. No, I'm just
the
messing.
importance of physical media next
Yes,
Tuesday, April
yes.
22nd. So, I also want you guys to jot down and send in your top 5 favorite physical media pieces that you currently own. Until then, though, Jay,
Or your 5 rarest physical media paraphernalia that you got, an autographed DVD,
there you
a
go.
Blu-ray. If it's a rare item, anything,
Well,
we
well,
want to know what it is. We'll talk about it and show it on the show.
you know, physical media also doesn't have to be movies. So if you have a
Exactly,
CD,
video game.
yeah, a CD, a record, vinyls, anything. Um, but until then, man, I think that's going to be it. We will hang out and talk to you guys on Tuesday, April 22nd, when we discuss the importance of physical media right here on another new episode of the Cine-Men Movie Podcast. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend. Have a good Easter week.